Hi guys, this is your video for point strengthening. I was going to do it because obviously with my toe I can't. So she's going to start on the floor and I'm just going to do little clips for you and then I tell you how many repetitions you have to do of each. So she's going to spread her toes as wide as she can. She's going to place them down on the blanket and she's going to scrunch it in. And she's going to try to literally scrunch that blanket all the way to her. She's going to do 30 of these. Just like that. You see how she's actually moving the blanket. Okay? And you may think this is boring, but it's actually extremely strengthening for your arch. It lifts the arches. So can you do one sort of turn out so they see your arch?
Really nice
yes, or
arches.
turn your body. No, just turn your body sideways so they can see the arch lifting. Just do the right leg. So you see how it lifts the muscles of the arch. You can see the muscles working. Okay, so I want you to do 30 of those. You can do one at a time. See how much she's got scrunched up under her? So that's one exercise, 30 repetitions. After you do the 30 repetitions, you want to do some circles with your ankles and maybe some, can you show some circles with the ankles just to release the muscles, and then maybe some pushing through the balls of the feet, unsickled and parallel through the balls of the feet and point and release. Okay, I'll have exercise number 2 in a second. Okay, guys, so this is another early, especially for pre-point, but even if you've been on point, it's a really good exercise. If you have sort of weird bunions or if you have pain in your toe joints, this is a great exercise. This is also a great exercise to strengthen the individual toes. Okay? So she's going to lace her fingers through her toes. Some of you have already done this with me in yoga, but it's actually a great exercise. It's also good for, like I said, for in between your toes, but also to get some blood flow in the toe areas. Don't mind the cap. Okay, so she's got her fingers interlaced in her toes. The first thing she's going to do is she's going to scrunch her toes, like she's trying to pinch her fingers. Yes, it's going to feel really weird at first, but you'll see when you take it off. So she's going to hold up for a little bit and release it. And then still hold. Now she's going to squeeze her toes with her fingers. Right? So you just sort of take turns a few times. I don't know, you could do 8. See, it gets sore after a while and then you can switch feet. Okay. After you do that a few times, still holding it, you're going to flex the foot. So the toes flexing like Barbie feet. I don't know if you can see her foot. So lifting her toes up. Good. And then she's going to point the foot. But not with the hand. You're actually doing the exercise with your toes. Okay? And then again, you're going to release it to neutral. And then shake it around. Good. And then squeeze the foot again with the hands. And then squeeze the hands with the toes. And then flex the toes. And then point the toes. Good, then you're going to release it. It's going to feel weird. You can wiggle the toes. Wait, don't release the whole foot. Then you're going to do one at a time. You can do the pinky. Then release it. Do the next one. Crunching. Do the next one. And do the next one. After you do that, you're going to place your foot flat on the floor. And you're going to try to play the piano. I had a teacher from ABT when I was in law school teaching me that. So you're going to try to play a piano. You're going to do little toe, middle toe. Next toe, middle toe, second toe, point, and reverse. Lifting the toe, spread on big toe, second toe. It's very hard to do.
Big fail.
Yeah, just keep trying it. Second toe, yep. And then in reverse, you're going to try to sort of do it faster and then reverse. Okay, so you're going to do that two to 4 times with each foot. Then you're going to try to do the big toe and the little toe on the floor at the same time, lifting the other toes. This gives you a flexibility. I can't do it with this foot because this is my broken foot. I'm showing you out.
Oh, I got it.
Right, so that's like kind of doming the foot. And then you're going to try to place the 3 middle toes and then lift the other ones. That one I've never been able to do and I find it impossible. So this gives you dexterity with the toes.
So it's this.
Yeah.
And then this.
Yep. So this gives you dexterity with the feet, and it helps for modern too, not just for point, but you want to have the toes actually have to be strong. You're actually doing, can you go sideways? You're actually doing this in the pointe shoe. You're actually with the strength in your feet supposed to be, look at me now, pulling yourself up, right? So inside the foot, you never want to look like this. You're actually lifted out, and that takes some toe strength, not just foot strength. So that exercise is great for that. Okay, then I'm going to have her stand up parallel. Great. Should I stop it and then start it? Okay, so for this one, we're going to do roll throughs only in parallel. You guys know this because you've done it. You do it in pointe class every day, and it's just as useful in flat, especially flat bare feet where your feet can really act like hands and you can really see. And then you can put your ballet shoes on when we do the more structured things that you really need to have some support in your ankle for. So she's parallel. She's standing up completely straight. She's lifted her belly, even though you can't see that because she's wearing the baggiest sweatshirt on earth. There you go. Dream Studio sweatshirt. You're going to bend your knees and you're going to roll up to that high arch, really pushing through, and then squeezing the underbuns and the inner thighs, come to a straight leg. Okay, and you know to do those in 4s and then reversing the action in 4. Right? And then you're going to do it in first position. Obviously, you can do this just like we do in ballet. Don't sickle the toes. Make sure you're more centered. You have actually too much weight on the big toe. Yeah. Make sure you're on the big first 3 toes and spread those toes like hands. There you go. You know this exercise. Great. Okay, guys, so the next exercise, which we've talked about, it's really great for strengthening your calves, preventing injury, is the calf rises or heel rises, depending on what you call it. You're gonna put one foot in coup de pied or coupe, and make sure that you're not leaning forward. Al kind of has she kind of has this chair is a little short, but you want to be very parallel. You want to be lifted, and you want to lift the heel up to a full releve from the inner thigh and the underbuns. So you really want to rise up, spread those toes. Al doesn't have the highest arch in the world, so she's going to try to really get that arch high, get that knee to line up with the middle of her foot, and then slowly controlling the heel as it goes down. Now listen, you should be doing 25 to 30 of these with a completely straight back and shoulder and hip alignment. Lengthening the lower back, lifting the thoracic spine, which is the upper back, and then lengthening the cervical spine, which is the neck. Okay, so 25 to 30. Like Al right now is actually leaning into the chair, so she wouldn't be getting the full.
It's so short.
I know, it's too short. So try to find something that's the right height for you, so you're actually getting the strength in the right place. You want to strengthen your ankles for pointe. Okay. You do the parallel heel rises or a calf arches, you're going to do them in first position as well. You can do the rises in turned out coup de pied or wrap sous le coup de pied, okay? Or I'd rather you do a wrap just because for this position, we're not doing petit pas main, but also, well, depending on the school you're at, many people do petit pas main here, but it encourages the right shape of the foot. You're concentrating on the standing foot, but you do want to obviously hold the foot in the correct position, anatomical position, or alignment position for ballet. And again, you're going to do 25 to 30, initiating from the adductor muscles, the inside of the leg. Okay. Guys, this exercise I got, this particular exercise I also got from a site, although I did have a teacher that made us take bar barefoot, and she made us do this exercise years and years ago. I want you to be very careful with this exercise. So if you are advanced, I want you to go ahead and do it, and if you've been on pointe. If you're not advanced, do not do it unless you feel completely confident that you cannot hurt your toes, okay? Because if you're leaning forward and putting a lot of pressure, whatever it is that you're leaning on, she's leaning on this very heavy piece of furniture, you can tip it. And if you put weight on your toes, as you're going to see that she's going to do without point shoes, and you're not holding your body upright, you can also hurt yourself. So I have to say again, do not do this exercise if you do not have the strength in the feet to do it upright and to only go up as much as your toes will take you. So the exercise is you go on releve, and then from there, only using your underbuns, activate your underbuns, your inner thighs, your muscles in your toes, you're going to start to peel away from the toes like you're trying to rise up without point shoes. You're not going all the way. See how she's not going all the way and down. This exercise can be very strengthening from the toes if you're using them as hands to pull yourself up. It has to be done very carefully. See how Al's doing it? She's very strong. You have to keep the feet from sickling, right? We know that you have to keep the feet from sickling. Okay, so it's quite dangerous. You want to do it only in first position. So please exercise extreme caution or do not do it. Okay. Okay, so this exercise is really to strengthen more when you do some jumps on point, and also to strengthen the calves and the ankle part of the foot. So you're going to go on releve. Al's going to go on releve. And then she's going to plie in releve. Good. And she's going to drop the heels gently. And lift the heels. It's also, no, stay in plie. Drop the heels. Okay, you're going to do a full drop of heels 10 times. And then the next time you're going to do half a drop. So lift, drop, half. Lift, drop, half. It's also a quad thing, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and when you're done, you're going to lift up and drop down. Good. Okay, guys, this is the last exercise. You should take your shoes off. You see how? This one we've done in yoga. It's really great for releasing all the strengthening and really stretching underneath the toes. So underneath the toes, see how she's bending her toes? It really helps. Not only do you want to stretch the top of your foot, like point your feet out here so that you can have a high, get all the way on point. But also the underneath of the toes is part of how high your releve can go. And then it translates into how high your point you can get on point, or how strong that part of your foot is. So you're going to start with your toes pointed, untucked, and she's going to sit back. This is a child's pose. Some of you guys have done it. And she's going to try to draw the heels together, but not so much that it hurts anything in her foot. You feel the stretch? Mm-hmm. And you're going to hold these. And remember, when you hold these, you have to hold them at least 30 seconds. Okay, at least 30 seconds. Good. Then she's going to come up out of that pose gently, and she's going to tuck her toes under. And again, she's going to draw her heels away from her and sit back and try to stretch. This is to, no, don't peel the toes yet. Heels back. Good. This is to stretch the underneath of the arch, that muscle, the tarsal muscle. Okay? Now she's going to, yep, right there. Now she's going to try to draw her heels closer to her, like a Barbie, and yep, and really stretch the under toes and the tarsal muscle. And it's okay, see how her little pinky's coming up? That's okay. Draw the heels slightly towards each other. There you go, and try to go more and more and more. Good. And you're going to hold this again for 30 seconds, and then you're going to release gently up out of it and point the toes again. Sit back one more time to release everything. And the last thing you're going to do is take a downward dog so that the whole foot on the bottom can stretch. So you really want to draw those heels down very parallel, lift the tailbone up, lengthen, and just hold it for a minute. And then you could sort of walk your dog a little bit. See how work it into your feet. Try to keep the feet completely parallel and the alignment of the feet completely parallel. Okay? Awesome. Good luck.